Here we are. We're live. This is pre-game planning. If you ever played on a sports team, this is the time you get your head game right. Make sure the playbook is tight. We just jumped on a few minutes early. Actually, not a few, just one. Just to give everybody a chance to wrap in. Hi, who's giving me thumbs up? Say good afternoon, good evening. Got a couple hearts, a couple viewers. Who all's here? Post a comment, let me know that who's here. It's gonna be a small group because, hi Nikki, are you ready? I see that. All right, I'm happy about that. Hi Susie, good evening. We still got to catch up and grab some coffee, but it won't be before Maximum Impact because my schedule is tight. But I promise we'll connect and we'll work some things through. Hell yeah, Nikki says she's ready. Well, so am I, and it is a good day and a good night to get together and make some magic happen. Hi, Tara. Hopefully everybody had a good day. Am I talking too loud? Do I need to be more reserved? Bring it down a little. We are here in my corporate office. Everybody's gone. I should have a drink, but I don't have any alcohol here. We are ready. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to have you print off your workbooks if you haven't done so yet. If you don't have the link, Jim's going to drop it for you. Hi, Sean. How are you? If you don't have it, Jim's going to drop that link for you so that you can grab it. Sean, grab some paper. I have your workbook. Since you had a problem with your printer, so I printed it off. I'll make sure that you grab it. Hi, Fatine, how are you? Are you done? Are you done with clients so far today? Hopefully you are, Miss Temple. I am excited that you're here. We are going to take over 2021. We don't care what's going on. There cannot be anything worse than this year. So I know that if we band together, that we set our goals right, that we put the proper action plans behind those goals, that we can accomplish anything. We can do anything we need together and separate so that when we do come together, we can be amazing and we can encourage each other and we can grow together. So we're going to do that. So I don't expect a big crowd because we have over 180 people that have registered, but which workbook? Jen Fontanella just dropped the workbook for tonight. It is a much thicker workbook than last week's workbook. So you need to grab that, click that link and at least have it on your computer. If you're on your phone, that's going to be a little more difficult, but you can look at it later. We're gonna put the workbook up on the screen this time because it's significantly bigger and more intense than the one that we did last week for the belief and building your confidence. So don't worry about it if you didn't print it off. You can print it off later. The real key is to actually do the work between today and Maximum Impact, because when you show up for Maximum Impact, you need to have all this information already written down, already off your plate so you can move forward. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to pop out and we're going to pop out real quick. We're going to switch screens. So we're going to show you a quick deal and then we'll be right back.
Hello to quality time at Marco's. Hello to being a game changer, an original. And to those who make it authentic, we say hello with the Founder Select Pizza, Old World pepperoni, sliced Italian sausage, mushrooms, on dough made fresh every day, and a sauce from the original Gianmarco recipe. Hello to an Old World original. Every store, every day, the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
All right, so you already know I'm ready. I hope you're ready. So we're going to go through the workbook. We're going to go through everything that you need because this is a workshop, right? I know it's an event, I know it's a live interactive, but it's really a workshop, meaning that we are going to work. So on that day, specifically Saturday, what you should expect is that we're going to kick the day off with some money conversations. We're going to slide into some health conversations about how you can change your gut health, because your gut is where everything happens. Your emotions, your immune system, your health, your healing, your growth, everything happens in the gut. So we're going to bring somebody in, Mr. Terrence Ellis, not just anybody, but Terrence Ellis is going to talk about that, review that, and we're going to go through that. We'll have a workbook for you for the day as well. We're going to roll into, in the middle of the day, right around 11:30, 12, we're going to roll into a working lunch. We're going to give you a break, meaning we're going to give you a little window to go in the kitchen, grab something to eat, bring it back to wherever you are. If you're actually in the kitchen, maybe get up, walk around a little bit, bathroom break, and we're going to come in and we're going to sit down. We're going to work together. We're going to do time management. We're going to go through, we're going to put somebody on the hot seat that has a little bit of problem managing their time, their resources, or they don't think that they have enough time to get it done. And some of you don't. I mean, if you're in the nail salon all day, and you're with clients back to back to back because your business is booming, I can see you having some issues with time. But there's some things that you can do, that we can do as entrepreneurs to try to circumvent that, to get more out of our day, more out of our time. Those are the things that we're going to be doing as a working lunch. People like Nikki, who's starting up a second business, or her first business, but it's really her second stream of income. We're going to show you how you need to work that business into your core schedule, so that you can grow that simultaneously as you're doing your 9 to 5. Not that you're going to be teaching Pilates at the same time, but there's business things that you can be doing to grow that business, to grow that stream of income, and to make sure that you're making an impact, a maximum impact at what it is that you're trying to do. So I always tell you what the goal is, because you really need to know what the plan is. So my goal is to make sure that you fully understand what's needed for maximum impact, because again, we're working. So I gave someone this particular analogy yesterday. It would be like saying that we're going to have an incredible Thanksgiving Day dinner, okay? Well, you don't wait till Thanksgiving to go to the grocery store. So we are making our list up, okay? We're making our list up, and we're actually saying, here's the list. That's what we're doing tonight. Between tonight and Thanksgiving Day, you're going to go to the store and you're going to get everything that you need so that you can make an amazing Thanksgiving Day dinner. So that's what we're really doing. This prep class is to say, what all do I need to have in my possession, really mentally and some of it physically, in order to put it into practice during maximum impact. Now, my goal is to have you prepared and knowledgeable about your 2021 path for success in order to have an amazing impact, maximum impact experience. So this is all about finishing strong and starting on a rocket ship. We want to start 2021, and we're not waiting to January 1st to start 2021. That is really the whole point to what we're doing, right? We're getting ready right now. We're starting to make changes right now. I'm not gonna get too amped up yet, but we're making those changes right now. As always, just in case there's people on that who don't know who I am an investment advisor. That is my core business. I manage retirement portfolios for individuals. I also teach spin class as a hobby. It's fun. It keeps me in great shape. I'm a performance coach. A performance coach is somebody that works with people who says, listen, I know that I'm here, but I see myself here, and I just don't know how to close that gap. So how can I increase my performance to a maximum level, hence what we're doing, maximum impact? How can I increase that my performance and close that gap to get closer to what I think I should be doing and where I should be? I also wrote a book, the 24K Life Code. It is a really good book for individuals that are really trying to close that gap. It's not too late for you to close it. It's not too late for you to still be amazing. I had a client in here that was 60 years old. He was really like saying he was too old. It's done. It's over. It's like, I don't really know what I should do. I just want to figure out how to maintain. I just need you to help me figure out how to maintain the rest of my life, my quality of my life. And I told him that's not what I do. I help people escalate. I help people elevate. I help people to be amazingly better. And I told him a story about how I worked with my dad. I worked with my father, and I was helping him to with his finances at 72, and my dad passed away 10 years later. So well, okay, but why didn't you add it to the stream if it wasn't added? I'm confused. So let's go back up. Okay. So so I was helping my dad with his finances because he and my mom, they made plenty of money. They never had money. They always fought about money. So our company took over their personal finances and we helped him. And that started when he was about 72, 73. And then he told me at some point that he was so happy that we took over because he had not had a money problem or argument with my mom since that day. And he told me this like 4 or 5 years in us helping him manage his money. So is the stream in now? Jen, text me just to make sure it is, because I'm not really sure if it is or isn't at this point. So it's never too late. If you're breathing, you still have a purpose in life, and you should most likely be trying to elevate yourself because that's your gift to the world. When you do better, you affect other people and help them do better. And so that's your job. It's your duty. It's your obligation to be your best self. And society tries to tell us, they try to push us into these boxes of normality, of being like everyone else, but that's not what you're here for. You're here to be your absolute incredible best self at all times. So my personal philosophy, and you all will have a personal philosophy. I promise you this much by the end of Maximum Impact. It is one of the requirements. My philosophy is that when you become your best self, you are an incredibly more valuable asset to yourself, to your family, to the community. And once you do that, once you level up your gift to the world, your expertise, your skill set, then society will pay you for access to what you do. And we see it every day. The best nail technicians get the most money. The best doctors get the most money, right? And now life isn't all about money, but what life is about, and I tell you this every time we talk, it's about options and choices. The more money you have, the better healthcare you can get, right? You're not worried about taking vacation or time off work. So our job is to elevate what we do and then demand that society pay us for it. So I want to know, just like I do in spin class, just like I do with my clients, I always ask these questions. What do you want from this particular session? What do you want from this particular session? So do you want to just make sure that you're prepared? Do you have questions that you're waiting to ask us? You know, are you kind of lost? You need some direction or purpose, or do you just need a little clarity on goal setting? So I want you to decide, you know, when this is all over and I'm done and I'm going on to the next thing that I'm going to do, did I get like what I intended from that? And so write that down right now. Write it down on your workbook. Write it down on your paper. Write it down somewhere. I want blank from this session, right? Just what do you want? Are you just here for clarity? So just do this for yourself, because this is the power of getting what you want. Because if we get to the end of this and you didn't get what you want, maybe you should ask a question to make sure you do get it. I asked for what I want. That's why I have a lot. So anyway, now that you know, the question is, are you willing to do the work? Nothing is free. So I have this client that I'm coaching, and he was telling me, I swear this is true. He was telling me, he says, I just want you to make it easy. I just want you to make it easy. And I said, let me ask you a question. At your age, and he was over 40, at your age, has there been anything in your life that made you level up that was easy? Getting your driver's license, college, getting your first wife or your only wife, your girlfriend, making more money, getting a raise? Was there anything in your life, getting fit, was there anything that was easy? And the answer is no, it is not easy. If it were easy, everybody would be at the top of their game at all times. They would be eating everything that they wanted, not doing any reading, not doing any personal development, not on a Facebook Live at 7 o'clock at night with Derek, because they wouldn't need to. If it were easy, they would just have it. You should know you got to do some work. So this is the Maximum Impact Prep Guide, and we're going to go to the first page. The first page is a personal assessment, and it says, in order to know where you're going, you have to know where you stand. So answer these basic questions. What do you see? What do you see for yourself in the next 5 years? Now, listen, you're not answering this right now, right? We're not here tonight to have you answer these questions. These are the questions I need you to give some serious thought to. You need to give some serious thought to this, right? I'm not playing, some serious thought. So the purpose of this particular question is to say just what I said. What's your expectation? What's your intention for your life in the future? Now, I know a lot of people don't like to plan. They don't want to think far out. But let me tell you, if you don't know where you are and you don't know where you're going, then you'll never get there. You just won't get there because there's no reason to get there because you haven't set that mark out there. So I know I'll keep picking on the same people, but let's take Nikki as an example for Pilates. If she doesn't know in 5 years what she wants out of her core career and her Pilates new business, then they will never both grow. You have to have some kind of goal for yourself, some sort of measuring stick so that you have something to shoot for. So once you get that, I also need you to go backwards and say, what needs to happen in the next year for me to be on track? What in the second year, what must be happening in order you to still be on track? So you need to be looking at these things. I need to have 16 clients a year, or adding 16 clients a year for this to work for me. Sean's going to do a group home. What do you need to have in year 2 for it to be profitable? What do you need to do in year 3? So you're going to go through these exercises, because just saying, I want to be healthy, I want to be wealthy, I want to be better is not going to get you anything. Those are so vague. They're not going to get you anywhere. So year 4, my plan is in full swing and the momentum is moving blank, right? And fill that in. Some of this is just your projection of what you want, but you also are going to refer to it throughout the course of these years to make sure you're on track. And most likely you underestimated if you're a 24K life person. I mean, if you're in the nation, you probably underestimated what your success is going to be and what's needed, because you are workers, which is why you're here. So the next thing that I want you to answer is back to your physicality. So we're going to cover your mind, your money, your time, okay, and your body. So your energy levels, what's a great energy level for your age? Now, it may be a really weird question to ask, but it's not hard. All you got to do is look at your average group of friends or associates or coworkers your age and see what they're doing. They're parking this close to the front door, right? Because they don't want to spend any more energy than they have to. By 4 o'clock, they start looking at their watches and they're looking at the door and they're like, it's time to go. Any minute, it's time to go. I was joking with my sister about this, about how there's people that, they actually have 1 foot out the door at 4:29, p.m. because 4:59 p.m. because they're ready to go. They're falling asleep at their computers after lunch. So what energy level should you think you should be at? At my age, I probably should be taking mid-afternoon siestas, but I don't. But we'll talk about that later. Let's talk about 3 p.m. Nothing against naps, by the way, either. I'm a big nap fan, but most of the time I don't get to take them. But anyway, what's your energy level at 3 o'clock? And is it healthy? Should it be improved? Maybe you don't know. Maybe between now and maximum impact, you're going to start paying attention to where your lull is in the day. So, because we need to understand where it is and what it is so that you can figure out how to conquer it. Because in order to get more out of yourself, you have to have more energy. So we're going to really jump into that. But these are the things you need to know. I don't need you thinking about these things at maximum impact. I've already answered that. So when we start talking about tools, we start looking at solutions, you already know where you are. I need more energy and I plan to get it by. Well, we all need more energy. So the question becomes, how do you plan on getting it? How do you plan on in your mind's eye? We're going to give you some answers, but how do you plan on it? Do some homework, do some research, think about these things, because this is where we're going. And the more you do, the faster you get to where you're trying to be. Now, if you can't see the correlation between your energy level and your output, now we're talking about maximum impact. So if you can't see that you personally, physically need more energy to produce greater results, you're missing it, because that is a fact. You have to have more energy, and how you get it is going to surprise you. So this particular question is asking about your consumption, right? We're still talking about energy, believe it or not, but how much sugar do you eat? Okay. How many grams of fat do you have? I asked this question because it's an emotional question. And I know that I shouldn't say most likely, I know exactly. We serve about 60% women, 56 to 60% women, and then 40% men. So, most men, we don't care, right? Most men don't care. I happen to be one of those that are a little different, but most men don't care, but most women care about their body. They care about their body. So the question becomes, do you love your body? And again, we're taught not to be vain, and we're not taught not to think about ourselves, but it is such a load of crap. If you don't think about you, who will? If you don't take care of yourself, I call it the machine. This is the machine. Not just me, you. I wrote about it in the book. If you don't take care of the machine, nobody else will. And if you break down, most likely everything's going to fall apart. So do you love your body? And listen, you're not going to answer this for us. You're answering this for you. And if the answer is no, don't freak out about it, because that's part of the deal, to be honest with yourself. And then let's figure out how to change it, because obviously if it's no, that's not a good mental mindset to be in, and it's going to hold you back. So if you don't love your body, just put no, and then we're going to jump in and dig deeper on how to do that, because that becomes vitally important. So of course, if the answer is yes, then you just say yes and you keep moving. I would say, hey, if the answer is yes, how do you maintain that? How do you maintain that body? How do you maintain that health? As we get older, it takes different tools and different things. I don't play basketball anymore, right? That's a cardio exercise I don't do anymore. So I need to substitute that with something different. I chose to substitute it with running for a few years, and then I switched over to spinning. So you constantly have to be looking at where you are and what it takes to maintain, even if the answer is yes. So I can tell you, I talk about Nikki's Pilates because that is my next serious phase of physical fitness. As we get older, we need to make sure our core is strong. We need to make sure that we have control, we have balance. I won't get into Pilates, but it's an amazing workout. Track your food and water intake for the next week. I think if you've never done it, you're going to be amazingly surprised at what you really consume, even though you don't think you do. So we want you to do that. I put down an app that you can use. You can use MyFitnessPal. I'm sure that there's a ton of other apps that you can use. That seems to be the universal one that most people gravitate to. I've used it before. It's pretty easy to do that. I do not track my food unless I'm in some kind of competition with my brother or some guys or something like that, and I need to do that in order to win, because I'll do anything to win. It's just part of my nature. You can use a journal or a notebook and just write down everything that you eat. Now, Jen, can you type this in for everybody? It's called Calorie King. It's an app, Calorie King. You can download the app on your mobile phone. And what Calorie King does is it'll tell you what calories, fat grams, proteins, sugars are, and the micronutrients that are in anything that you want to eat. Any fast food joint, not when I say any, I don't mean like a local, one person shop, but any chain restaurant, It'll tell you what's in, fat-wise, protein-wise inside a chicken or drumstick or chicken breast. So that'll help you when you're tracking your food. The next thing we're going to do is find out what it actually looks like from the protein, sugars, and fats. You just need to know what you're consuming so that you can understand if you make a change, how you make a change, it's going to be beneficial for you. So we're going to switch over a little bit to money. And we'll take questions. Don't think we won't take questions. When we finish going through this, we'll take some questions. So money. Now, during Maximum Impact the day, I am going to go on my whiteboard and I am going to give you our full bore, full tilt money, core money system. I'm talking about the system that we use with our clients day in and day out when we're just getting them started. It's the money system that helps people get $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in their emergency fund, get their bills paid on time, make sure they can go on vacation without ever touching their emergency fund. It is how we help clients to regulate and grow their interpersonal relationships with their spouse or significant other. We eliminate, and I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you the truth. Like I told you with my dad and my mom, we eliminate so many discussions, arguments, and fights about money in our system because of the way we structure it, the way we set it up, and how simple it is and effective. We're going to go through that in full detail. But because of that, I need you to take a look at some of your basic expenses. Take a look at some of your core expenses. What kind of money do you need for your living, your transportation? Now, listen, I know you know how much money you make. I know you know how much money you have saved. But what you don't know, just like the nutrition, is how much money you're really wasting and where is it really being wasted. Now, people were wasting so much money dining out before COVID. After COVID, they started wasting money on Amazon. I mean, it's incredible. And they started wasting more money because people were getting the $600 a week stimulus check and they got the one-time stimulus edition, and people still don't have any money. So they're spending all that money. Now, listen, the reason why that's the case and the reason why they gave everybody the stimulus money is because they wanted to keep the economy going. How do you keep the economy going? People spend money. So when they gave you the money, they knew they were going to get it all back. It wasn't even a secret. They knew that you were going to spend that extra money. And so what we want to do is we want to take a look, and we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to tell you my personal story, Maximum Impact. But let me tell you something. You've made millions, I've made millions, and I've spent millions, and you've spent millions. What we've changed, though, is that we're making money now and we're keeping money now. Okay, so we got to change that mindset, and we do it in a very simple way, but very effective, and it's all about creating new habits and consistency. The next thing is when you think about what are your monthly money needs, you're also thinking about what are my money needs in the future, right? What are they going to be in 5 years? Go back and look at that other exercise that says in 5 years, I want to be here, here, and here. Is that going to take the same amount of money that you make now, or is it going to take more money? I mean, if you put travel more, it's going to take more money. The other thing is, and I think this is really huge, personally I do, and I'm a financial expert, so it's important. What's your number? What's your magic money number? What's the number, and I call it magic, what's the number that if you closed your eyes and you said, oh, I got that much money in the bank? I'm not talking about your house. I'm not talking about your assets or your cars. I'm talking in cold hard cash. If I had that much money, that number, I would feel free. I would feel free to stop working if I wanted. I would feel free to come and go. I would feel free to get the things that my kids need, my family need. I would donate money. What's that magic number that would make you feel personally free? Not financially free, personally free, right? And I need you to start thinking about that. You should know what that number is. Maybe you say, I never want to be personally free. I always want to be under somebody's thumb. I always want to have an employer or collecting a Social Security check or, but not me. What's your magic number? The next thing I would ask you to do is to look at what your life's purpose cost. So what does it cost for you to do? My life purpose, and you already know this, is to be in this position that this is all I do. I teach people how to create a foundation physically, mentally, and financially so that they can go out and do the things that they were put on this earth to do. So I teach people how to get their life together so then they can go serve their purpose. Obviously, most of that is with money, but it's also mindset, but it's also physical. So that's why I do 24K Life. It is your entire life that you need to have in control, that you need to have an amazing foundation so that you have the power, the strength, the attitude, the discipline, and the money to go do great works and help other people. You might be doing Pilates. You might be having a group home. You might help, there's somebody who wants to help women with daughters that just got out of incarceration. Susie wants to help small corporations or help corporations find great leaders and help them get promoted. So we all have a duty and a mission. I'm not better or smarter than anybody else. What I am is I'm really good with money and I'm really good with discipline, and I've done it all so I can share, hey, here's some shortcuts on how to elevate yourself. So what does it cost you to float your life purpose? You're gonna have to sit back and you think about that. How much is it gonna cost you to hit that 5-year number? Is it gonna take some internet marketing? You gotta buy some Facebook ads? Do you need to go out and get some branding? Do you need, what do you need to do? Susie, Nikki, Rashawn, Sandy. Sandy's sick. You all have to pray for Sandy. She's sick. Sandy's one of our core people, and she's sick. So make sure you pray for her. Now, here's the next thing. This is kind of like, do you love your body? Who's your number one fan? Now, anybody and everybody knows me knows I'm my number one fan, right? If I don't promote Derek, nobody will. I promise you this. Nobody will. And here's why. People tap into your energy. They tap into your mood. They tap into what you're offering the world, just your vibration, your spirit. And so if you're always negative, if you're not a positive person feeding other people without even talking, it's going to be it's going to be tough to have a fan. It's going to be tough to have people in your corner going, yay, go. Because nobody wants to go, yay, go, be bigger asshole, right? Nobody's going to say that. So are you your number one fan? And if you're not, we got to work on that. You got to be your number one fan in order to get somebody else to think they can help you or should help you or want to encourage you to do better and to be bigger. So now that you know you're supposed to be your number one fan, we need to know what are the top people in your life that energize you. Now, again, you're not doing this work right now. You're going to do this work between now and maximum impact. But who are the people that energize you? Now, this is a trick question, because right after that question, the next question is going, who are the people that piss you off, right? Who are the people that drain you? Who are the people that just unequivocally, as soon as you see their text message, as soon as you see their name coming across on the telephone, as soon as they pop up in your office space, that you go, oh God, no, not them again, right? Who are they? But who are your top people? Because you need those people. No, I put 5 lines down, but there may only be 1 or 2 or 3, right? There may only be a few. And that's okay, because most of us don't have a whole litany of people that are energizing us. Most people, listen to me carefully, most people that are in my circle, most people that are in the nation that are active, most people that are at spin class, most people that I have coached with their money or their fitness, they are the power source. Bro, everybody plugs into you, right? We talked about this one-on-one. Everybody plugs into Rashawn in her circle, her son, because that's what kids do, right? Other people, I'm not going to get into it, but everybody plugs in. So if you are this huge outlet and people are plugging in their cords to you, right? They're constantly plugging in, and you're constantly kicking out power so they can operate, so they can elevate, so they can sustain their life. What are you plugged into? Who are you plugged into? Are you plugged in? Most of you all aren't. You're not plugged in. So we have to do two things. We got to plug in, and hopefully that's why you're here, to get this information and say, I'm going to plug in what he's doing and what he's saying so I can get more energy. So yeah, I can feed those few people that really need to be fed, but I can also grow because they're not sapping every ounce of my energy. Okay. In the book, I talked about you mothers that everybody drains you and you say, it's okay, I'm a nurturer, I'm a caregiver, it's what I'm supposed to do. No, it's not. Because as soon as you get sick, as soon as you go in the hospital, everything falls apart. And that's not what's supposed to happen, right? We're supposed to be building people up, and we're supposed to build them up by letting them fall. So you take it for what it's worth. So now you've got the people that energize you. Whew, who are those bottom people? Who are those people that are draining you? Write them down. You don't have to show this to anybody. This is secret. I'm not going to ask you this information during Maximum Impact. You are not going to have to expose this to anybody. This is for you. And understand, I wrote a tweet the other day, and I talked about, not hiding your greatness to make other people feel better, right? Not being as smart as you are so other people feel okay about how dumb they are. And they're not really dumb, they just don't think. So this is for you to understand who's in your atmosphere, who's in your universe, so that you can figure out where to put them. Some of them need to go in a box. They need to go on Saturn, right? There's no air. So then who are those middle people? Now, we all know that middle people can sometimes be energizers, and sometimes they can be draining. So when you list these people down, and you might have a really big list of middle people, but they gotta go on one or the other. So when we're done with this with Maximum Impact, we have no middle people. We have no middle people. They're hot or they're cold, and if they're cold, they gotta go. It's a painful thing to cut people out of your life. And I'm not talking cavalierly. I have friends, and some clients whose parents, whose siblings do not encourage them. They are not their fans. They are not supportive. They are not cheering them on. And I hasten to say it is really hard to cut them out of your life. But let me tell you something. You are not put here to get the shit kicked out of you every day or every time you talk to somebody. You weren't put here for that. All right. You can't divorce your kids, but you can not talk to them. Right. I mean, my crew, they know there's certain conversations we won't have. Let's just not have them, because if we're going to have them, you got to go. It's as simple as that. And I love you. And I tell them all, I love you with all my heart, but you got to go. I can love you from afar. So those middle people, we got to get rid of them. So I need you to do the work. Remember, I asked you earlier, are you willing to do the work? All of these things may seem like, how in the hell is this connected? But I'm telling you, all of these things, the success of your money, the success of your fitness, the success of your mindset and your focus and your discipline has to do with everything that we've talked about so far. And just, if you don't see it, just trust me, just do the work. Just start doing this work, and you'll see how it comes together. I'll give you one example this second. When you feel better, you do better. Everything's better when you feel better. And when you remove bullshit out of your life, you feel better. You feel bad that you had to do it, but you feel better the next day, and the next day. So that's just one example of how it improves your life, your productivity, and your results. So I also want you to switch over to you now. So we were focused outside of you. Now we're going to focus inside on you, on your internal. What are 5 things that you do that just waste time, money, and energy? You got to think about it, but what are the things you do? I'll tell you that it was super tough, but I cut my cable off. I cut it off. If I watch TV, I'm watching something on Netflix. And let me tell you, I spend more time searching for something to watch than actually watching anything. But I cut the cable off. I've done it before, cut it back on because my mom was living with me and she was bored. Then I had it on for a couple of years, and the lawnmower guy hit the dish, the DirecTV dish. And so I have never had it reconnected. and I'm not. I'm just more productive. So there's a few things like that are just energy zone wasters. If you've looked at the news, and I look at it periodically because you got to stay informed somehow. If you looked at the news, what are they talking about this year? COVID. What else? COVID. What else? COVID. I mean, okay, wash your hands, put a mask on, go handle your business. We cannot let them psych you into thinking the sky is falling, because as far as I could tell, it was a hell of a sunny day today, okay? And I know that inside of this office, I'm safe. In my home, I'm safe. I can control my environment. You can control your environment. And for those of us that have to go to work around people, we have to be extra cautious, but we can't do it in fear, because when you're in fear, it ruins your immune system. And when you ruin your immune system, you're more susceptible to COVID, right? So what else are they talking about? What Trump did, what he didn't do, how he's doing it, how he didn't do it. Look, listen, I never talk politics with you all, but the reason why I don't is because, go vote and then go back to work. Go vote, go back to work. Focus on you. Elevate you. Options, choices. Elevate your game. Elevate your skill sets. Because when you do that, now you have some power, right? You really have some power. You have a voice that can affect thousands, if not millions. I want to be able to come on Facebook Live and have 1 million people go, what Derek say? Right? Not for my ego, but because there's so few people with any goddamn common sense, right? That somebody needs to step up and say some things like, ignore the idiots. Ignore those idiots. What do you think? Why don't you read? Why don't you spend some time elevating your skill set and then share that with millions of other people yourself? And if I have some sense and you have some sense and we share that sense, maybe we can make some changes. So focus on you. It's not the wrong thing. I'm telling you, they want you to believe that you're supposed to be thinking about everybody else. Trump's not thinking about you. I promise this. List 5 things that bring you joy. So we talked about the wasters. Now we talked about what brings us joy. Focus on that. What makes you happy? I mean, I love going to spin class. I love it. I absolutely love it, right? There's 20 other people that want to get in shape, that want to be better, that are willing to go through the agony to get better, that I know understand that a short-term pain is going to lead to long-term joy, right? Because less cholesterol and less heart attacks and less strokes and less illnesses, that's a good thing, okay? So what things that bring you joy? And then list 5 things that help you grow financially. These are the things that you need to know. Is it a spouse? Is it, what are the things that help you grow financially? List those 2. List 5 things that make your life better regularly. Now, I'm not talking about, a little shot in the dark or your annual birthday party or, those things are so small. What makes your life better on a regular basis? We're going to focus on that because we want to figure out what that's attached to so we can do more of that, right? The happier you are, the more energy you have, the more productive you are. And I'm telling you, all ties together. I promise this. So we talked about your top people, talked about your bottom people. Who is your role model? I mean, who are you modeling your game plan after? Now, if you know Ray Kroc, he was the guy who started McDonald's. And he created a system, as you already know, where instead of creating a different burger every time, he created the exact same burger. So you can get a McDonald's burger in Taiwan, in Toledo, or in Toronto. You like that? I just came up with that. And it's gonna be the same burger, okay? So who are you looking at that's successful in the field and the expertise that you're currently in that you can say, okay, I saw how, I know one guy's name is David Broadway. There's another guy I'm thinking of is something Paul Charles. I don't know. I was trying to help my nail expert out. But anyway, Paul Mitchell. There you go. So how did Paul Mitchell, when he started over here doing one client at a time, and then he had his first salon, How did he get to this huge business model? What did he do? You got to do the work. First of all, you got to find somebody that inspires you and you says, yeah, that's the kind of thing I want to do. I want to change the world's idea about wellness or about fitness or about finance. And this person is doing it and they're doing it the way I think I would want it done. And then look at the way they did it, the way they're doing it. If they're no longer doing it, that's what you're reading. Somebody asked me, what book should I be reading to inspire me and to grow? You should be reading stuff that you're interested in and where you want to go. So when you look at the 5 years, I want to be here in 5 years, then you can look around and say, well, that person's, they were there in 5 years, 25 years ago. What did they do? How did they do it? And then you're going to say, well, they used to do it this way, but that was before we had, mobile phones, or that was before we had landing pages, or whatever the case is. But find a role model and then tweak what they did and make it better. You can look at history. The whole cool point about history is you can look at it, figure out what mistakes were made. How would you improve it? How would you put your flavor on it, which is why you are unique? What spin would you put on it to make it greater, to make it better? Every coaching client I have on my performance coaching, I send them on a mission. You need to go find a role model. Find a role model. Not somebody that's, Mother Teresa, right? She's all of our role models. Somebody that's doing what you want to do exceptionally well. And they're good people. They didn't steal to get there. They didn't rob to get there. They didn't cheat to get there. They worked. How did they do it? What did they do? How can I do it better? And then, of course, it's who do you mentor or coach? Because when you help someone else, it is a universal principle of reaping and sowing. So you're going to sow or plant a seed, and that seed is going to grow, or you're going to reap the benefits from it. So when you help other people, it comes back to you. I can tell you right now, I love mentoring my son, and that's a direct benefit, right? Because when our ass is old and decrepit, hopefully I'll help him enough, he'll take care of me. And I'm really joking. But I love helping him, his friends, the kids his age that really want to know how to elevate their lives. And I can tell them, based on where they want to go individually, how they should be thinking about their careers, how they should be approaching their relationships. Oh, I tell them everything, right? I was married for almost 20 years, and I consider that being a pro, even though I'm no longer married. I consider myself a pro at relationships, because you can't go 20 years and be a schlep. So I give them guidance about all those things in order to cut their learning curve down. Who are you mentoring? Because as you pour out into someone else, invariably you learn something. It's just the way it works. You learn something about yourself. You learn something. They teach you things. My son teaches me more things. He sends me more YouTube videos that inspire me or encourage what I'm doing. It might be somebody's doing something I'm doing or whatever, but we share information. But for the most part, I help him rethink what he's doing. Now, here's the big one. I know you've tried before. I know you've thought about all this before. I know that you've read about some of this before. And I know that you stopped, or you wouldn't be here. So why is committing this time, right? You're going to commit to a massive change. That's what we're doing. We're taking control of our lives. We're setting our intention. Remember, setting our intention to take control of our lives. Why is this time different? And you got to, that's a serious question that you got to ask and that you really have to spend some time on. So I need you to help me out. My goal, and I know I shouldn't even say this, but my original goal when we had an event planner. My original goal was to get 125 paying clients to show up for the event. I wanted to help more people, so we took away the fee, and so I said I wanted 500. And then when I got to a couple hundred, I'm like, well, we should have 1,000, and we only got 3 weeks. And I'm telling you, Susie's been amazing, and Sandy's been amazing, and Rashawn has been amazing, and Laurinetta has been amazing. And when I say that, these people are going out and they're inviting their friends. They're putting them into the nation. They're asking them if they want to be in the nation. And we're reaching out to these people and letting them know who we are, what we are, to see if they're a good fit. Because not everybody's a good fit. Some people are just hangers on. Remember those middle people? We don't want middle people. We want people that are ready and serious about taking off and ready to take ownership for where they are, to become amazing, and they're willing to do the work. Okay? So if you just ask them if you just send this link, joinderek.com, it will take them straight to the nation, and then they can request to be a part of the nation. And I'm asking you all to do that, family, friends, coworkers. All I'm really asking you to do is say, hey, there's this amazing free workshop that's just helping people really assess where they are in their life and going to help them figure out how to get it started aggressively, consistently, relentlessly as we move into 2021. And it's free. It's going to be a day. I honestly don't know why we can't get 5,000 people in this. I mean, you're telling me there's not 5,000 people who want to fix their life, who need to understand how goal setting works, that needs to go through that workbook and answer those questions, because they seem really easy until you start trying to really fill it out. I mean, there's 25,000 people. There's 25 million people. So I know we can get to 1,000, and I'm asking for your help because I can't get there alone. If I could, I've already done it. So I'm asking you all to help me do that. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to come back and I'm going to answer any questions that you have, and I'll stay as long as you need me to make sure those questions get answered. So we're going to take a quick break.
This is Mary. She understands the importance of a strong root system. So when Mary lost a tooth, she went to Frankel Dentistry to replace it with a dental implant. Its titanium root is precisely placed and naturally fuses with her jawbone over time for a permanent replacement that's as strong as it is beautiful, just like her smile. Because making you smile is what we're all about.
I'm adding myself back into the live stream. Jen's adding me back into the live stream. So we are going to get this together for maximum impact. That's why we're using this format, so we can practice a little bit and still bring you amazing content and information. We get all these bugs worked out so that in 3 weeks during maximum impact, we are on our best game and everything's good. So question becomes, how do you feel about the information that we shared today? You know, how do you feel about it? And if you have questions, that's great. If you have a serious question and it's long, then let me know. I'll give you my cell phone number you can call so that we can listen to what you have to say. It looks like Tara has a question. Oh, thank you, Tara. Tara says she'll help invite more people. She said, I'm hungry and I deserve oh yes, I'm hungry and I deserve everything I desire. Oh yes, I love that. Does anybody have any other questions? And I know Jen told me not to ask that. She told me to ask, what did you tell me to ask? Transparent and thought-provoking. Well, thank you, Facebook user. Who are you? Tell me what your name is, because you got to click that little link above giving StreamYard permission to show your name. Who are you mentoring? Yes, who are you mentoring? Hey, if you're mentoring somebody, type their name in. Okay, so what question? Okay, here we go. How do I keep confident and working hold on a second. I'm not gonna read this out loud because the last time I read it out loud, oh, she put it up on the screen. Last time I read something out loud, I almost had to cuss the dude out. How do I keep confident in working in beauty when COVID-19 is a major causes to lose clients so much more? Yes, right? So, so this is a great question. So like in your situation, and I'm not like the answer dude for everything, but when it comes to money, I got good answers. So, so one of the things that we'll be doing with you specifically, and anyone like yourself during maximum impact, is you have to go vertical, darling. So what that means is that you're seeing clients and there's COVID season and they can't come in. So if you go vertical, so you do nails, and I'm not sure what else you do, but you do nails and you get paid for that, those numbers are down because people are scared of COVID. So there's things that you can do, and I'll give you this. You just asked the question, I'm gonna give you a couple right off the rip. So one of the things you can do is you can do a video, a paid video on how to care for your cuticles yourself, right? So here's the thing, you can't live in fear. You can't live in fear of, if I teach them how to do their cuticles, they're never gonna come back. People love to be served. They will come back, I promise you. So you can do a video. What's the best nail polish? What is the best self-care for your nails? How do you get a professional looking set of nails at home, right? You can do that. You can go to you know where I get my nails done. And Sabrina's like selling products, not CBD, it's CNB or something. She's selling product to her clients and customers. So you can, that's all vertical. So you're doing nails, you teach people how to do nails like on a YouTube video, and you sell it. You don't give them the YouTube video, you sell it, right? How to do your nails in 5 minutes, right? How do you take care of your cuticles? What are the best tools and instruments? And you take one tool, the nippers or something, show them how to clean them, you show them how to use them, you show them how to care for them and put them up and keep track of them. That's one video. And so inside of your course on how to get great looking nails quick, or how to get professional looking nails at home during COVID, you can charge for this. So the question becomes, let's pull your calculator out, darling. Pull your calculator out. If you sold this thing for $14.99, you sold it for $14.99, okay? And you have to understand that your demographic is no longer Lucas County. It's no longer Toledo. It's no longer your neighborhood. It's no longer your phone book. Your demographic are now the millions of people, women most likely, that want to listen to you. And then of course there's also men, right? There's nothing wrong with you getting your nails done, guys. Let me show you nail care for men, totally separate course. How to get your hands looking like they should, you know, without going in the salon. $14.99, but bring your calculator out, $14.99. And now we know that the world is your oyster, but let's just say it's domestic America. Let's just say it's Ohio, right? There's how many millions of people? So if you were to market this course and it caught on fire, or you start smoldering a little bit, and 100 people a day bought that, right? What if 10 people bought it? 100 people is $1,400. 100 people a day bought that's $1,400 a day. You'd stop doing nails, right? So you got to go vertical. You got to start thinking. I just came up with that off the blue, right? Poof. There's other ideas. There's other things that you can do, but that's just one of them. So you can't control if I'm scared to come in the salon for COVID, right? You can't. Well, you shouldn't judge. I don't judge, but you can't. What you can do is say, well, how else can I take the knowledge that I currently have and expand it vertically? So horizontally, and I know I'm going in too deep, horizontally would be, I do nails, now I'm gonna start detailing cars, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start cleaning houses, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start, you know, selling packaged meals. Those are all horizontal. Those are all extremely different silos. Vertical is staying right in what you do, but doing it more. Okay, I hope that gives you some kind of idea how to stay confident. You stay confident by going out there getting that money. Susie says, can you start another business under the same name? Yes, you can. I have a company called Gant Group LLC. We have some real estate under there. I have my spin studio under there, and I have all the things that I'm doing here in my private brand under there. So it's kind of hard to do that if you name your company Cakes, you know, Specialty Cakes Are Us, and you want to sell tires. That might not work. But as long as your name is conducive for what you're doing, you can do that. You can also do it what they call a DBA, doing business as. So you have Carolyn's Crazy Cakes and Cookies. And so you can have that. And then if you want to go sell tires, you can say, you know, this is, you know, Susie's Tire Company, Carolyn's Cake, doing business as Carolyn's Tire Company. Okay. What else we got? Fatine said, thank you so much. That's why they love me, because I know how to make that money. I always got money ideas. Anything else? Does mentoring include help train new people at work? Okay, Tara, that's a great question. She asked, does mentoring people at work count? She asked, basically, does it count? So here's what I'm going to say to you. You know when you're on the airplane and you're taking off and they say, hey, if something happens bad, you put your oxygen mask on first and then you put somebody else's mask on. So here's what I'm going to say to you. If your plane is all about Tara, right? So if training that person at work is helping you elevate at work, or helping you when it comes to what your ultimate goal is. Because see, what I'm teaching you all is to figure out your heart's passion. What do you put on earth to do? If your job at work is what you were put on earth to do, then absolutely by all means. Absolutely by all means. You want to kind of tutor someone though that has your spirit, that has your heart and your direction. So I'm very particular who I mentor, because everybody wants to be mentored, but half of them don't want to do the work. So when you pick someone, Tara, or someone picks you and you try to help them and they're going left and you're telling them need to go right, you can't help that person. They're not ready yet. Okay. So I hope that helps. But I would suggest that you stick with people that are as hungry and as aggressive as you are. Is social media a good way of mentoring? No. Pick up the telephone. If you're gonna mentor somebody, you have to have a connection. You have to have a relationship. Now, Ro, what we're doing is we're doing like online course. This is a course, okay? This is what I teach when I'm coaching. If you guys have any doubt about what happens, this is what I do when I'm coaching. It just so happens that I'm doing it in a public forum. But when you're mentoring someone, like when you and I get together, Ro, you know how I do. I get right in there. We talk about your relationship in detail, about what needs to happen and where you should be in that thing with your son, with your employer. So social media is not the spot for that conversation at all, ever, in my opinion, right? And it's not the spot for relationship discussions either. Hi, Keisha. Where's the link to? It should say allow StreamYard access to your Facebook information. It should be, I'm pointing above because usually it's right above wherever you're watching me. And maybe if you're on your phone, you can't see it. Maybe you have to do it on your computer. Why is finding a mentor challenging? I truly would like a mentor because I have a heart that wants to see everybody win. So now Keisha, and this is a great question. See, this is why we're doing the prep class. So when I say mentor, I'm not directly talking about being able to pick up the phone. Now, when you're mentoring someone, yes, but when you're trying to be mentor, so I have a mentor, okay, and some of them have been real people that I could go touch over the course of my life, but some of them don't even know I exist. So I found a guy, actually a couple, that they're helping people grow financially. They're helping people expand their mind. They're helping people push beyond their normal limits. And the guy's maybe 12, 15 years older than me. And I watch everything he does, right? And I don't do what he does, but I watch what he does. And then I go figure out why he's doing it. Why is he doing that in that way? And then I go back, that's not true. The first thing I do is I go back as far in his history as I can find. And I take a look at what he was doing 20 years ago. And how did he get where he is right now? What lumps and bumps and ups and downs did he or she or they have to go through? I buy his books, I've read them, I've listened to his story, okay? I've decided, that 20%, I don't feel that. That part I don't feel. The other 80% I really like. And then I analyze those things and say, what parts of those are applicable for the road that I'm traveling that I can use to further my mind and my implementation of trying to help people. So when I talk about role models, not mentoring, role models, that's what you're really doing. You're looking at a role model and you're saying, that's how they are doing things. That's how they're getting better. That's what they had. Look at their track, right? They had to go through hell to get to this point. It wasn't an overnight success. That encourages you to keep going and keep pushing. So if you really, really want to mentor, it depends on what you want to do, and you got to be super specific, right? Yes, I have a heart to help people. You have a heart to help people. My heart to help people, I laser tag that thing into money. How can I help you get your money right so you can afford to go to California to talk to your mentor, right? That's what I'm here for. I'm saying, let's get that money right. So when you find that mentor and they say, yeah, I'd be happy to meet with you and talk to you, you can hop on a plane and it's no big deal. You can hop on a plane and you can go spend a weekend with them because they're willing to help you. So for now, what I would suggest you do is identify a role model, somebody that's doing what you want to do. Maybe it's social work, maybe it's a public speaker, maybe it's Ivana Yanzan or whatever her name is, or it's Oprah, or whoever. You don't need to go. You don't need Oprah to call you to go learn her story, to see all the things that she went through, to see the work and the hours that she put in. I've watched Michael Jordan's YouTube videos. I've watched Kobe Bryant, the discipline that they put in. They win a game and go practice after on the mistakes that they made so they can be better next time. That's the role model. That's the thing. Now, I'm not a basketball player, but I can apply that to what I'm doing. That's what I want you to do. Okay? I hope that helps. Do you recommend a business loan or funding your own business? Again, if you're not trying to just nickel and dime your success, if you're going to get a business loan, you need to make sure you have an accountant. You need to make sure you have projections. You make sure you have a business strategy, if not a business plan. And you need to understand where all those pennies are, where your return on investment is, where your break even is, what your cost analysis is, your price per unit, your profit per unit. So if you're that serious about your business, then absolutely people get wealthy using other people's money. Absolutely. If you're not that serious, no, don't do it. You're going to end up owing somebody some money and not making any money doing it. And I've done both. I've done both, right? I've done it where I was super serious and I've done it where I wasn't. And so I can tell you straight firsthand experience, be serious. Great questions. Anything else? Jen's talking about the 80-20 rule. What you talking about, Jen? You want to pop on and talk about the 80-20 rule? Look at her. You guys can't see her, but she's giggling. You want to jump on, Jen, or no? Did you say no? I didn't see. Oh, there you go. Hey, Jen, did you want to talk about the 80-20 rule?
Yes. So, hi, everyone. I'm the one that's... Can you hear me?
Turn your volume down a little bit.
Oh, hang on.
Okay.
Better?
Yep.
All right. So, this is a concept. Hi, everyone. I'm the one behind the scenes. So, nice to see you here. So, Derek and I talk about this often, the 80-20 rule. If you're familiar with it, it's the commercial playing.
Because I clicked the wrong button. That's because I shouldn't be behind the scenes.
This is why I do it and he does it.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to change the background. There we go.
No worries. Okay, so we talk about this often, the 80-20 rule being the Pareto principle. And a lot of times we get stuck in the weeds. And what do I mean by that? You have this goal, you have this dream, you have these intentions. And then you think that, oh, I need to be doing this, and I need to work on my logo, and I need this, and I need the business cards, and then I need to talk to this, and we get lost in the weeds. Now, are they all important? Yes. Should you be doing them all at the same time? No. So when we talk about 80-20 rule, I think this is so important for all of us, especially if you have this dream or goal or this side hustle that you want to come to fruition. You have to find out what that 80% is. And understand and identify that 20% that you need to just put aside. And maybe eventually you find out that you don't even need to do it. But we get caught up and we're trying to do all 100. And that's when things get watered down. And then Derek talks about this all the time. What you focus on expands. And if you're focusing on everything and everything becomes so diluted, you're not focusing on the 80%. And a lot of times you'll find and come to realize that 80% is what is going to bring you 100%, if not close to it, your revenue and your income stream. And sometimes we get focused on that 20%. And who's in that 20%? When you go back to the workbook, as you prepare for maximum impact, that 20% could very likely be those people who are draining you. Those
okay,
people
so wait one second.
Yeah.
Let me just tell all of you that Jen's like, she's been on a conference call, on a conference meeting all day long. Okay, she's been on all day, so that's why I'm helping her, because I'm gonna help her. It's actually the opposite. Okay, so when you look at let me explain the Pareto principle. She knows it. She's just tired. I promise you, she's tired.
My brain is fried.
It's the opposite. So here's the Pareto principle. If it started with Alfredo Pareto, who was an Italian economist, and I'm not going to give you the history, but let's just say he was counting pea pods. So what they found out was that 20% of the pea pods produced 80% of the revenue. So the other 80% was bullshit. They were eaten by ants or whatever. So 20% of the crop. So here's how you can correlate this. Go in your closet before you go to bed tonight. Go in your closet and look at everything in your closet, and I swear to you, you only wear 20% of it. The other 80% is filler. Maybe you wear it on your birthday, maybe you wore that 2 years ago, but 20% of the stuff that you have is what you use. The 80% is just useless waste. That's why you should be doing spring cleaning a couple times a year. So how does that apply to what we're saying and what we're doing? We're telling you that if you focus on the core 20%, you're going to produce 80% of your revenue from that 20%. So the team, you can look at it and you can take a look at all of your nail clients that you service in a year. 20% of those people are the ones that come back every 2 weeks or come back regularly. It's 20% that come back. Those are the people that you give champagne to. Those are the people that you have special treats on their birthday. Those are the people that you text and say, oh, I'm sorry to hear your son was in the hospital, right? You cater to those 20%, because guess who those 20% are related to? Other 20%ers. So that's the 80-20 rule, and that will help you to focus on a really small, tight-knit window for your personal success. Okay, but that's a great point, though, Jen. So the
next question about how do you determine the 80 versus 20%?
Oh, it's easy, right? So it depends on. She says, like, I'm learning branding, business cards, websites. Take away time from spending building my content. So what happens, and we're going to talk about this in time management during Maximum Impact, because when I'm coaching my clients for peak performance, right, maximum impact, we have to cover the marketing is part of 20%, and obviously your core business is part of the 20%. So we have to focus on those things. What you really need to do is you need to think about it this way: list out everything that you're doing. So go back to the things that are wasting your time. See, that's part of that 80% that I want you to go attack. Okay, list out everything that you're doing that's making you money, everything that's wasting your time, and you're going to find that 20% that's helping you, and you're going to find that 80%. Because now listen, some of the 80% is necessary, but it's not necessary for you to do it. So I delegate that. Right, Jen delegates. She has a virtual assistant. Don't you have a virtual assistant?
I did.
You did. Okay, she did. So I don't know why she doesn't, but she delegated that to a virtual assistant. Somebody, some of her marketing, she delegated it out because it's something that somebody else can do. So it's not always your responsibility to do all of it. Now, as small business owners, when you start off, you got to wear 80,000 hats. Well, that's when you have to figure out what becomes your priority. During I'm looking at hold on one second. During Maximum Impact, one of the things we're going to do when we get into time management is we're going to show you how to master your time with this one single daily planner. We're going to show you how to get to that 20%. So it becomes crucial. That's a good question.
Did you answer the one about this one?
Yes.
All right.
So.
All right, I'm gonna pop off so you can close it out.
Okay, see you later.
Bye, guys.
Right, so that's where my business. This is awesome. Let's take this off. Okay, thank you. So the question was, I'm learning branding, business cards, websites, and it takes away from building your content to 80-20. So, when you say what you're saying, you're learning your business. You have to give yourself enough grace to say, I'm in the learning stage. You're not in the income producing stage, you're in the learning stage. So the question becomes, what do people, so here's a great 80-20 thing. You're doing business cards, you're doing websites, and what else you say, and branding. So you want to ask yourself, well, which one of those are the most profitable things? Which one takes the most time? So what's the most profitable? That's the 20%. That's the thing you should be focusing on. Maybe it's business cards. Maybe it's building websites. I can't tell you at this moment, but that's the analysis that we want you to do. That's why you're here, so you can start looking at those things. Sometimes you might just have to get down to the really basic fact and say, what are most people asking for? Are most people asking for websites? Am I getting more requests for branding? Am I getting more requests for business cards? And how fast can I turn those things around? So that'll give you a good feel for where you should be spending your time from, an 80-20% perspective. Okay, I get that. Do what we talked about. So that's why you all are going to do the homework. We're helping you with your clarity, right? Do the workbook, do the clarity, and then when you get to maximum impact, and I'll ask you, did you do your work? What were your top 5? You can pull that workbook out, and because we might put you on the hot seat. We might say, okay, what were your top 5 things that gave you energy? What were the top 5 things that helped you generate money? What were the things that drained you? What were the things you're wasting your time on? Because we all have the same 24 hours, and some people are amazingly proficient in those 24 hours, and other people are not so much. Listen, I only see 6 laughs and hearts and thumbs up. You guys, give me a heart or a thumb up if you think this is like going according to what you need to make your life better going into 2021. Okay, Jen, do we have any other questions? Okay, all right, so we have no other questions. Ro, I will have your workbook for you. I'll probably, if you're gonna go to spin over the next 3 days, I'll probably leave it for you in an envelope at the spin studio. I'm going to see the Bucks. Go Bucks. Thank you. So I'll leave it for you there so you can grab it and get yours filled out. Make sure you invite people. Tara, yes, thank you, Tara. Tara, you got a special place in my heart. We got to figure out what your passion and your purpose is. We got to keep working on that. Ro is a great example of not giving up. She's been working out. She's been spinning for 3 years now. She's eating better. She's down a crazy amount of weight. She is an amazing. Now we're just going to switch that over to that money, Ro. We're going to go get that money. Now you get to fitness. We're going to get that money because money gets you more fitness. All right. Good night, Keisha. I'm glad you made it. Good to see you. Invite more people. Have more fun. We will be around. This is going to be our last event until Maximum Impact. We did the belief and confidence building last week. We did the 7-day challenge. Tonight we did the pre-class. So listen, if people join or your friends join, we're going to leave the recording so that they can watch this and benefit from it as well, getting ready for Maximum Impact. It's not too late for them to do it. So be blessed. I'm Derek Gann. I want you to be your best, bring your best, leave nothing to chance. See you all later. Have a great weekend. Everybody say go Bucks.